Hey, what's up, Slunt's Joker here. Welcome to a brand new episode of Slunt Tech. Today I'm going to be joined by longtime friends Hendy and Charlie. We're not going to have any video today. We're just doing audio for ourselves, and then you'll be able to follow along with the news stories on my browser here. But I'm going to be joined by Charlie from For the Banter and I. What's going on, Charlie?
Well, how are you, lovely people of the internet?
I'm going to answer for them. I'm going to just say that they're probably okay. They've got internet. That's about the best you could ask for, really. And also joined by Hendy. What's going on, Hend?
I'm feeling fine, thank you. How are you today?
I am fine. Are you fit as a fiddle, would you say?
You could say that. You could.
No. Would you say that?
No.
Could you just to please me, would you just say it anyway?
I'm as fit as a fiddle.
Oh, look at that. It's confirmed. Hendy is fit as a fiddle. That is confirmed.
You heard it here first.
There's going to be a lot of things that are confirmed in this particular podcast. The first thing I can confirm, not to sound too cold or callous, but just the other day, Spock, Leonard Nimoy, passed away at the age of 83 after a battle with some chest problems. I can't remember what it was exactly called, but he had lung failure that he personally had contributed to smoking, even though he quit smoking like 30 years ago. So, gonna have a brief moment of silence here for our homeboy. Live long and prosper. Well, obviously he's not gonna live any longer, but we'll live long and prosper in his name, Leonard Nimoy.
A little hobbit whom we all admire, with his long wooden pipe, fuzzy woolly toes. He lives in a hobbit hole and everybody knows him.
Alright, that's enough for Leonard Nimoy, though. There, we got the song. I played, you guys don't know this, but I just played the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. Have you ever heard it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So, I played that to honor Leonard Nimoy, the legend, because even though, yes, he was on the TV for Star Trek, he did more than that. He also did films. He did music with his hit song, The Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
Very fitting choice.
Yes. I can't think of anything else better to represent Spock than the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
I, for one, would play Straight Out of Compton.
Oh, did he do a remix on that?
I believe he did. I believe he covered on Ice Cube's No Vaseline.
Here, it wouldn't surprise me. What about Shatner?
Coming straight out of Compton, because Yule don't even smoke crack. I can't even say Yule N-words don't even smoke crack.
Exactly. My favorite album, Viper, represent.
Oh, yeah.
Keep on trucking.
Yeah, we can't play any of Viper's track, because I'm sure he has them copywritten with a team of Jewish lawyers, because he's such a high-caliber artist. But I will go ahead and I will link in the description to Viper's album, Yule N-words Ain't Even Smoked Crack. That's right.
It's your first fellas. Gals, I guess.
Yeah, the next hit sensation. Watch out, Justin Bieber. Watch out, Big Willie style. Viper's coming. Moving along to
Viper's coming.
Yeah. Moving on. All right, to some sort of gaming / hardware news. Valve is going to be holding a press conference at GDC this week, and they're making a lot of waves, and something we'll get over to in a second. But first off, they've got their VR headset, which is going to be a big contender. With things like the Oculus Rift coming out, and it's being developed on the hardware side by HTC. And you know a fair bit about this, Charlie. You want to go ahead and speak some knowledge on the specs and let us know what you know about it?
Yeah, well, basically, the only reason this was leaked was because HTC were at a press conference in Barcelona, and it was leaked by accident, where they actually put out a trailer, so PC Gamer did an article on it. And basically, they're saying that it kicks out with 2 displays, one for each eye, at 1200 by 1080 displays at 90 FPS. That's right, 90 FPS.
Oh,
for
baby.
People looking at the silky smooth gaming experience of 60.
Wait.
Know,
no 144 hertz?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. We all don't have money like you.
Wait, and also they are saying it's 1200 by 1080. Now is it it's 90 hertz refresh rate. I'm taking it for each eye individually, not added together. Not like 45 per eye.
Each eye is 90.
That's pretty nice. What else?
They reckon that with this high resolution, it's going to maximize field of vision as well, that we're going to get something like, I think, 130 degrees field of vision, which is very, very high. That's actually higher than the Oculus Rift, so
and it's at a higher,
be interesting.
And it's at a higher resolution than the Oculus Rift is, at least what it is right now. I know
Yeah,
that's...
and the thing,
Go on.
yeah, and the thing is, like with HTC, a lot of people were speculating with the likes of Oculus Rift and Project Morpheus and all these different VR technologies that they, at launch, they might necessarily be affordable. But the thing is, HTC is known for making smartphones and pieces of technology, but also bringing them out at affordable prices at launch. So this could be a good thing for Valve, teaming up with HTC.
Yeah, they're making a lot of solid moves right now in the mobile market with their HTC One Plus One, which is, you know, setting the internet on fire. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it at all, but they just had like an invite thing going on for like the last year. We had to basically be invited just to have the privilege to buy their phone because it is that good. Doing things like 4K video, things that have now been adopted, and Samsung's doing on their phone, but they were kind of doing it first. And it's a pretty good phone.
Yeah, and the thing is, with Valve, they had confirmed with GDC they were going to be releasing two things. The Steam VR hardware, which obviously we know now is called Vive.
Yeah.
And HTC is labeling it Revive. The thing as well was the revamp for the Steam controller, but Steam VR has implemented some technology into the VR headset that you can actually walk 15 feet by 15 feet in your room, and you can control your avatar's movement in game. So from when you start up the headset in game, you'll be able to actually walk around as your avatar in game if you have a big room.
Yeah.
So that'll be quite weird for people if you do have a spacious room, walking about, you know, running about, playing fucking Half-Life or Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I'm completely sold on the VR headsets yet. I haven't tried them on personally, but one of my biggest thing I'm trying to get over is the resolution, because even at 1200 by 1080, I imagine with the screens being that close to your eyes, you're still going to be able to see the pixels. And with a device that's meant to be all about immersion, I find that anything that's going to distract you from that immersion is going to completely kill the experience. That's the way I see it. And if anything like that does happen, then it's going to kill it for me. We haven't heard from you yet, Hendy. I know we were talking about this a little bit earlier. What do you think about the VR headsets? Are you getting on board with these things when they first come out, or what do you think about them?
I think at some point I'll possibly pick one up just to see what it's like, but right now it just doesn't seem worthwhile. Definitely when the technology gets there and advances, and just when it's a bit cheaper as well, I guess. I'm not too sure how much the Oculus Rift is right now, but
it's I believe it's $299 the dev kits, so that's probably going to be what it is when it comes out.
Yeah, see, that's a tad expensive for sort of just something,
a peripheral,
at least in my opinion, that I'm going to use maybe a couple of times and get sick of.
Yeah, essentially an accessory.
Yeah,
not even a controller.
Kinect 2015.
Yeah, like it is definitely. I would say it's on the same level as the Kinect and basically the iToy for the PlayStation 2. It is just one of those things that's going to die off and lose popularity when it comes out, I feel. Obviously, it could get popular, and there could be some amazing advances, and I would really enjoy that there to get really immersed in video games.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in sitting down to try it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The thing is, as well, with VR, like, it's been tried before. Sega tried doing a VR headset in the 90s. I think it was 92 or 93, and they failed miserably. It was cancelled after.
Was it Sega? The only one I know of is Nintendo's. Did Sega do one too?
Sega tried, but they didn't actually get it out. They tried really hard, like pushing a campaign in the I think the early 90s, and it just didn't work out for them. But the thing is, now we're hearing so much, like, Windows is getting one out specifically for Windows 10, which is supporting the whole holographic movement, and then we've got one from Sony, which is coming out for the PS4 and the Vita. We're getting Oculus Rift, and we're also getting, the Vive. So the thing is, maybe they'll pull it off this time. Maybe
and
it'll
Razer
actually get its feet off the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, Razer too. They've got an open source one coming out. I forget the name of it, but it's supposed to be all open source. Which actually that interests me because I'm a fan of any open source project really. If it's going to be something I might use, so
yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to allow any sort of open source development on the HTC or it's going to be locked down. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably going to be locked down because they're a pretty big company. So
yeah,
but then again, so is Razer. So. And they probably, and if it wasn't going to be open source, they'd probably announce that right away because that's definitely a selling point for a lot of people. Another thing I like about the HTC headset that we're looking at right now is that it doesn't have any headphones on it straight away, which the Oculus Rift they did add on later, and I didn't really care for that at all, that they added headphones onto it, because I obviously want to use my own headphones.
Yeah. The one thing I think, well, obviously we won't know until, people start, looking at it and trying it out. Obviously, once GDC comes along on Tuesday, we'll know more. But the thing that kind of pushed Oculus Rift to people's attention was the fact that it was made from lightweight components. The actual guy who owned the company of Oculus Rift before it was bought by Facebook, he specifically engineered it himself so that it used minimal weight so that you could have longer playing times and it wouldn't, have any kind of sag on your head that it would weigh you down or give you a bad neck or anything like that. So
yeah,
hopefully this HTC comes from the same bit of cloth. They kind of make it with lightweight materials.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have to wait and see at the press conference this week, and I guess wait until we all get hands on with it. That's going to be the hardest part for me. Is before I buy one, I'm going to want to get hands on with all of them since it's such a physical experience. That's something I'm going to want to get hands on with before I plop down $300 for it. But that's still a long ways off. But this press conference they're holding is actually just not even necessarily the press conference itself, but just when it's taking place has stirred up a lot of news. If you watched my channel, if you saw the video I posted yesterday, it's speculating, and a lot of people gave me shit for the title of the video, but there was a question mark in it, so it's still speculation, and we'll talk about that here now, but the press conference is being held March 3rd at 3 p.m., so a lot of people are thinking this could possibly mean we're going to see the announcement of Half-Life 3, and obviously, as Valve in the past has shown that it's not able to count to 3, they have a lot of number 3s that could be coming out. They've got Team Fortress 3, Half-Life 3, Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3. So it could be any of those, if at all, or they could just be completely cock-teasing us like they've done in the past. But fingers crossed that it's Half-Life 3.
Yeah. It could also be...
Go on.
It could also be Counter-Strike 2. Counter-Strike 2 has been confirmed for development, and actually the lead developer of Counter-Strike 2 has blatantly said outright that Left 4 Dead 3 and Half-Life 3 are being worked on, so it could be anything really, anything in Valve's library.
Well, with it being the 333, I think it's going to be something with a 3 in its title if I had to guess, and also because of the VR headset and because they're also going to be doing some information about physics-related stuff, and being that Portal and Half-Life are such physics-based games, I think those two are probably the front runners for me. At least, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And then I would even put Half-Life even further ahead on that, because one of the biggest things that Gabe Newell has said is why Half-Life 3 hasn't come out is because they felt like they had kind of gone as far as they could have as far as immersing the player, and that they wanted more immersion. And to me, that sounds like a VR headset is going to be exactly what they need to get Half-Life 3 out the door if they want a VR headset. And also, if you can only use it with Valve's headset, then that's going to sell a lot of headsets, especially if it's required.
Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely. The thing is, if they turn around and say, the thing is, we've been told that Vive is going to be available the final quarter of 2015, something we actually didn't mention, and the developer kits are going to be available as early as spring, right now. So the thing is, if they go to GDC and show it off, and then they turn around and go, "Oh yeah, by the way, we've got the developer kits here for people," like the whole thing's gonna go mad.
Yeah, I can't wait for Tuesday personally.
Yeah.
I just hope they announce something big. I mean, obviously, like everyone probably wants Half-Life 3 the most. What about you?
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Hendy? I mean, ideally, what do you think is the best thing they could announce come this Tuesday?
I think ideally Ricochet 3 is on the cards. I for one will be extremely excited for the announcement of Ricochet 3. But if they do announce Half-Life 3, I think it's definitely taken them
Long enough.
long enough.
8 years.
It's
Is it only 8 years? It feels like a lot longer.
yeah. It
8
definitely-
years from episode 2, but from Half-Life 2, it's 11.
Yeah. It's a bit late.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. The excitement was there like maybe 4 years ago, maybe not anymore.
Yeah, basically when the orange box came out on console.
Pretty much.
But that's another thing it could possibly that we were talking about earlier is like maybe they're gonna do an orange box too, or call it something a completely different color. It could be the blue box, the purple box, the black box, the pink box, any kind of brown box, any kind of box, basically.
Yeah, I seen a link, or I think, it was a forum post saying that imagine if Valve... See, initially they were meant to be showing the Steam box at GDC 2015, but people were saying imagine if they made the black box edition of the Steam box, which had Left 4 Dead 3, Portal 3, and Half-Life 3 all built into it when you buy it.
Well, let me ask.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Let me ask that right now. If they were to do that, if they were, let's say they announce, okay, we're doing a black box. You're gonna get Half-Life 3, Portal 3, and Left 4 Dead 3. How much would you guys be willing to pay for that day one for those 3 games all packaged up in a decent looking box? Nothing too outlandish, but a nice looking box. You know, how much would you pay for that?
That's a hard question. Handy, what do you think?
Well, I believe the current going rate for most games nowadays is about 50 Great British pounds.
Or it's
Maybe a little bit less than that, though.
It's $60 or 40 to 50 pounds.
Now, if they're bundling all those games together, there's got to be something. Like, if they were to do that there, I would feel as if they didn't put the full development into all 3 games, and that maybe they were a little bit half-assed.
Then again, maybe they have. Maybe that's why they've taken so long.
Yeah, that could be the case.
Reason. It could entirely be the reason. Still,
I say 500 quid max. I would
500
totally
quid
pay
for
that.
3 games.
If I could, on a Steam
Charlie,
box,
Charlie,
I'm
don't
fucking-
set the
here.
precedent here. No hardware, just the games. Just the games,
Or
man.
just the games.
Don't
Alright, so I
give
thought you- I
Ubisoft
thought
don't give Ubisoft any ideas, please.
Alright.
Or
fucking,
EA.
let's just have a remastered fucking trilogy of Assassin's Creed here for
Oh,
like
God.
600 quid.
Oh no,
And call it the Ubi box.
Oh man,
Or the Ubisoft box.
And the games
Just a wee-
collectively
yeah.
will run at 30 FPS combined.
for that more genuine feel.
The cinematic
experience.
experience, yeah.
Yeah.
just please.
Yeah, just
Hashtag Ubinot. Hashtag poo.
hashtag Ubi shit. Oh man, but
Hashtag AC Unity. What the fuck was that?
But seriously though, how much would each of you be willing to plop down for just the games? Just the games. And this isn't a collector's edition or anything, it's just the black box, all 3 games.
50 Great British pounds, possibly, for all 3. If it
Really?
was just one of them, I would maybe pay 40. But for all of them, like, together, I wouldn't want to pay any more than 50.
That seems
I know that seems
a little bit low. Yeah, for 3 major
Yes, but
titles.
I feel as if they're going to be releasing them all at the same time, they're not going to receive the full workmanship. Like, it was sort of the way in the orange box. Like, Portal was just sort of slapped in there to sort of see, just to test the waters, basically. And
it was great. It was short, but it was great.
Fantastic.
It was very good. I really enjoyed the first Portal. The second Portal, I didn't like so much.
Really, I loved it. I thought the co-op was good too, and just the community support also with the Steam Workshop. I mean, so many levels that you can download. It's just endless. That game is still...
That tower level, though.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that one. I remember doing that with you. That was like one of the first things I gamed with you on the PC when you got your PC up and running last year, and I was like, man, that was... We never finished it. We never finished
it. Fuck that level.
Yeah, it was a Steam Workshop level, and it was one of the really, really difficultly rated ones, and it was just absolutely mental. We wound up having to do like the same thing over and over again 50 times to get back to the same area, and we just kept fucking up, and we couldn't figure it out. It's just so confusing.
Insane.
But I would love to see a Portal 3. I don't really I don't really care about Left 4 Dead 3, honestly, because Left 4 Dead just bored me.
Fair enough. I personally love Left 4 Dead. I think it's like my favourite party game of all time. I used to love like having friends around and playing split screen and drinking a few beers and playing Left 4 Dead, and just fucking when you get to the end part of like each campaign, like you end up with like 2 or 3 tanks on you and the whole thing's fucking crazy. It was a great party game, you know. But personally, I feel with me loving Valve as much as I do, I would be willing to pay 60 quid for each game. I would totally put down 180 smacks to get them day one, easy. Personally, I would bend the wallet over backwards and sit on it.
I was thinking 200. I'd drop 200 on it if it came in a nice box.
Yeah.
If it had if it had like an all black box with just like, I don't know, like the fucking like a silver Omega logo on the front.
A little tiny steam valve at the top that you could turn, like a little car steering wheel.
Or not Omega, whatever, the Lambda, that's what I meant to say, the Lambda.
Lambda, yeah.
Lambda logo. Yeah. My bad. Party foul. But yeah, that's enough about Half-Life 3 and Valve. It's speculation at this point. Hopefully Tuesday I can do a video for you guys and announcing it, like I did with this one. I broke this story, by the way. I invented this new story. No one told me about it at all. The Half-Life 3 announcement. Oh yeah. He's chuckling. He's chuckling because he told me, and then I got the video before him. Haha.
Yeah, them fucking Intel CPUs on their render times, and them fucking American fiber optic connections. Screw you in all your entirety.
Yeah, he could have had his Half-Life video up before me, but it basically came down to Intel versus AMD, and you guys know Intel won. Anyway, moving on from that now, which GTA 5. Surprise, surprise, delayed again. Is Rockstar ever going to release this game? I know that the console players are really happy about this. They just seem to want to rub salt in the wound. Like, oh, have you guys got GTA 5 on PC yet? It's really getting old at this point. But then again, I guess they get really tired of us telling them how much better our PCs are than theirs. So I can see why they're a little salty. All these flavors to choose from, and they've chose salty.
I think I've cracked it. I think I know why Valve is going to release Half-Life 3. It's because GTA 5 on PC is going to become the new Half-Life 3 meme.
Oh my god.
Because it ain't come out. I think that's it. I think I've cracked it.
I want to believe. I want to believe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But, you know, GTA 5 is taking the fucking biscuit with it, really. It's crazy. Like, I played it day one when it came out on the 360. I had it pre-ordered and like completed it like I think in the first like week or week and a half. And since I got my like gaming PC up and running, I just could imagine like the mods and like the community, like what they could do to that game. And the thing is, like, it's been so long since we've seen it. It's been well over a year. It was September 2013 it came out? It came out
2014? It came out 2013, and then it came out November 18th, 2014 for the new gen consoles.
Yeah, so like it's nearly 2 years since it actually came out initially, and it's still not on PC.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, and there's a lot of speculation as to why they're delaying it. Some people think that maybe just the multiplayer is broken, and they're asking, please just release the single player, going as far as to put out a petition asking for 7,500 signatures, which is just a completely obligatory number. I mean, it's not like they've gone to Rockstar and said, like, look, lads, how many signatures have we got to get the single player released now? And they're like, oh, 7,500 will do it. And it's like, yeah, and then they go get the signatures. Like, no, that's not the case. They're just collecting emails on change.org. That's all they're doing. You know, having a petition like that's not going to do anything. People think that petition is what got GTA on the PC. I don't think so. I think they had every intention of putting it on PC to begin with. You're chuckling. You're chuckling, Hendy. What do you got to say?
If you think that it got on PC because of a petition, you're very silly. It's just...
It got on PC for one reason. Money. Lots and lots of money. But hopefully we do get it soon. I mean, now it's pushed back to April 14th, and I just want to play it. I know a lot of people are saying, you know, we don't care if they're delaying because that means it'll be good when it comes out. Yeah, hopefully, or it could mean that they're actually running into a lot of trouble and the game's a broken, buggy piece of shit. And I fucking hope that that's not the case. I pray to Bill Nye that that's not the case, but, you know, it very well could be the case.
Oh, if that game came out broken day one, Rockstar would have fucking hell to pay, considering the amount of times they've delayed it.
I'm going to go off what happened before with GTA 4.
Ran like shit.
I can tell you right now, it is going to be an absolute mess on launch.
I just want the single player to work. I don't care if the multiplayer is buggy.
The single player's fantastic in that game too. It's such a shame that people on PC haven't got to experience it. It's a really, really good campaign. Like, I think, Handy, you've played it too, haven't you?
Oh, I've played through the full thing. Played multiple hours in the single player.
It's a great game.
Yeah, I know it's a good game, but I mean nailing down the performance aspect, that's going to be the big thing. Because you know, GTA 4 was an absolute wreck, and it still is. It still runs like crap. And if everyone boots up their systems, people with high-end systems, and they get 40 FPS in this game, they're not going to be happy.
Definitely not when you're forking out fucking ridiculous prices for graphics cards and fancy fucking, you know, CPUs and stuff. You don't want a game to run like shit. Personally, you know, people say, you know, you pay for what you get, but that's not the case with bad optimized games, and developers should do more to make them better.
Yeah, it's like soul crushing. You drop like, you know, 4 times the cost of a console, then you only get 10 frames more than what a console's getting. And it sucks. And it just comes down to the developers just like being lazy or short on money and time, and you know, then they say, oh, they'll patch it, and they never do. Sometimes they do, but not all the time. And, you know, I could see why a lot of people get turned off by the PC because of that, but I think it's worth it at the end of the day because majority of the games that come out still run just fine. There's a few that just stick out like a sore thumb, and it kind of gives it a bad rap almost. But one game that's actually up and running and already working fine, even though it's only in beta at this point. It's in closed beta, so you can request a beta invite, and I'll link down to where it is below. But the game is called Dirty Bomb. And from what I've seen of it, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Brink, if you remember that first-person shooter that came out from Bethesda. But I haven't played it. I requested a beta invite, but I haven't got one yet. But Hendy's played a good amount of it. What are your thoughts on it so far?
No, I've got to say, it is a lot of fun, and it's got some very, very, very interesting gameplay. I like the system with changing like your class and that there, and there's a good variety of classes. There is some that have a little bit of crossover, like there's at least 2 medics, there's at least 2 artillery guys. It's a little bit weird like that there. There is definitely crossover, but the game modes, they seem pretty fun right now. It's mostly just capture and defend and stuff like that there.
Domination, basically?
Pretty much. Like, from what I've played, like in the couple of closed betas, it's been fun. I definitely will hopefully be playing it competitively when it comes out.
Are there AIs?
Not that I have seen so far. There has definitely not been any AI. It has all just been players.
That's good, because like a couple of videos I watched, it kind of looked like it maybe could have been, but those were like pre-made trailers, so that's probably why it looked so organized.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
It reminded me of that gameplay of Brink though, where you were mostly going up against AIs because you couldn't find any real people to play with.
Yeah.
Almost like a first-person MOBA, like you're trying to basically advance to the other side of the map.
Yeah. I liked Brink when it was working well, but when it was when it just didn't have the players or anything, it just fell apart. But when it was a full server and that, there, lots of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible game. It got like bad reviews and just got bashed, by critics and everything. But I had a good time playing Brink, and I wish it had had more of a community to play on it. But I think a lot of people wound up just not getting it just because it got so many bad reviews at launch, and then people didn't even bother giving it a second thought. But I really liked it though.
I really liked the story with the way it progressed.
Yeah.
Like you could basically host a multiplayer game.
That's
your single player game, and anybody could join it.
Yep.
And it would progress through the stages of everybody playing, and it was a lot of fun.
It was ahead of its time in a lot of ways.
A little bit, yeah.
Something like that would work really good now, like almost like as a free to play game, and like Dirty Bomb. There it is.
The closest resemblance I can think of is the campaign mode in Ragged Orchestra 2, which is just where it's a multiplayer server and they progress from place to place and the players get to choose where to attack. That's the closest thing I can really compare it to on, well, just any sort of game I can think of recently.
Minus the realism, though, just that aspect of the servers, how it works.
Definitely.
Yeah. Charlie, have you seen anything of Dirty Bomb? Are you interested in it at all? Or are you not really too much up to date on it?
I haven't seen anything of Dirty Bomb, and I have not played Brink. What I actually was going to say while you were having your little moment there, reminiscent on your Brink days, I was going to say, I'm sure you two can probably confirm that Bethesda this year isn't going to announce Brink 2 at their E3 booth.
I think that's what everyone's actually anticipating. I mean, Fallout 4, nah. New Elder Scrolls, nah. It's going to be Brink 2. Confirmed. You heard it here first.
I will be really excited for this year for the confirmations from Valve, and just everybody just confirming all these games.
Yeah, 2015 is going to be a big year because we got Valve. They're going to be putting out Ricochet 3. Bethesda's going to be putting out Brink 2. So it's going to be a huge year for both companies.
I believe the second part of I believe 1886 is getting a new game as well. 1887, that should be coming out next year, I believe.
Is that the last 3 hours that they should have had in the first one?
Yeah, it's fucking it's last 3 hours of the DLC just called 1887.
Yes.
It's just a New Year's party and you walk around talking to people.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I believe it's going to be like, that game CD Projekt was teasing a while back. That Cyberpunk game. Do any of you even remember?
Oh, yeah. Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, they teased that, and I'm just like, where is this game? I thought we'd get that. I thought we'd get that before Witcher 3, honestly, because it was it was teased before Witcher 3 was ever teased.
Oh, definitely. That game just, from the trailer and the atmosphere and everything. No, I'm a big Shadowrun love. I just love Shadowrun. It's great. I love the setting, and I know a little bit about 2027, I believe.
2077, I think.
It's 2077.
From what I saw in the trailer, it made me think of Deus Ex Human Revolution for some reason.
It definitely had that vibe, definitely. I think that's more to do with the arm claw things that she had. That's one game I really hope they actually come out with something this year. Sorry, for that there, because that would actually be a real surprise for everybody, because I don't think anybody would be expecting any news about that game maybe till next year.
Yeah, definitely.
So, CD Projekt, get on it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a way off yet, because I mean they're a fairly small studio. I think they're probably all working on Witcher 3 right now. Probably because that's the guaranteed money. But I don't know. They could have a separate team working on Cyberpunk at the same time. Could happen.
To my understanding, there's CD Projekt, which is just the overall company, and then there's CD Projekt Red, and those are the guys that work on The Witcher 3 exclusively.
Right.
Now, I'm not too sure if they've got any other little subgroups or whatever that work on other games.
CD Projekt Purple.
Yeah, CD Projekt Purple, CD Projekt Green,
CD Projekt White and Gold.
Oh god.
I could definitely get behind a CD Projekt White and Gold.
I think you're confusing. I think that's CD Projekt Blue and Black. You're getting those mixed up.
My mistake.
Hashtag what color is the dress? Yeah.
Blue and black. I mean, sorry, I won't let my opinion come into this. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. It's a completely objective question that's being answered subjectively. But moving on from what we've got on games into a little bit of hardware. DirectX 12 has been a hot topic this week, as we're probably going to be getting a big announcement about it pretty soon. And one of the big things that I'm most excited about is multi-GPU and what DirectX 12 is going to mean for that. Because when the games start coming out that are supporting DirectX 12, they will be able to do multiply video memory across your 2 graphics cards or your 3 graphics cards or your 4 graphics cards. So now if you have 2 780s or 2 980s, so instead of having just your 3 gigs with the 780s, you now have 6 gigabytes if you've got 2 of them. Because the games, if the developers, they'll be able to do it essentially, this is just one example. They could say, okay, we want this graphics card rendering the geometry of the map, and this one we want rendering all the textures. So they could basically take on their own independent tasks, and they could assign that to the video memory on each card. Another thing is that they're actually going to be able to mix NVIDIA and AMD graphics cards, which is absolutely crazy. But
amazing.
If it's working the way they want, it sounds like it could be feasible, because essentially the cards are going to be working independently of each other. So one card could do one thing, the other card could do the other. And it sounds really interesting if they can pull it off, and if developers are actually going to develop for it, because that's going to be the key thing. It's not going to be like a driver update that comes out and instantly everyone's going to have, this functionality on every game. It's not going to be backwards compatible like that unless the developer puts out an update to actually support it. Because the way it works right now, at least for NVIDIA, they use what's called AFR, alternate frame rendering. This is going to be using SFR. So it's going to work a lot differently than the way AFR does, which basically it's alternating between the 2 cards going frame for frame for frame for frame. Instead, it'll just work completely in sync. But yeah, it sounds really interesting, and I can't wait until we start seeing some games coming out with DirectX 12, just as a multi-GPU user myself. Did you have anything you wanted to add to this, Charlie?
Well, yeah, I think it's definitely a good creation in its own right, because although NVIDIA cards, they basically rule the market with NVIDIA GameWorks and a lot of different technology they have in games like physics and things like that, the thing that AMD can maybe bring to the board with that is that you can get AMD cards with really high video memory. And if you were working with one card having a really high amount of video memory, and then having say a real strong NVIDIA GPU working with GameWorks technology, that would definitely help for playing games at higher resolutions with the higher video memory, because obviously we know that with higher resolutions and stuff it utilizes more video memory, and with the likes of the games like Far Cry 4 and Assassin's Creed Unity that are been really badly optimized for PC, they use a lot of video memory, the console ports. So I definitely think it could be a good thing if developers get on with this and actually start implementing it into their games. I would like to see how it's going to fare out with the likes of backwards compatibility with old games, especially if people are running systems, new systems with this kind of hardware configuration, and if they want to go back and play a cult classic, like the likes of Half-Life 2 or something like that. How's that going to fare out?
Well, or Skyrim with mods, it requires a shit ton of video memory if you're using loads of mods. So something like this could be huge for games like that, because it just requires a massive frame buffer, even if you're playing at 1080p, if you're wanting to use a lot of mods. So people that are playing at 1080p aren't necessarily going out and buying 4, 6, 8 gigabyte cards. There are AMD 8 gigabyte cards, like Sapphire does an 8 gigabyte card, that a lot of people get just for the frame buffer to use on things like Skyrim with mods. It's a very niche market, but it exists, and they don't necessarily need that 8 gigs all the time, but something like this would be a lot more feasible if you can just get, you know, 2 3-gig cards or 2 4-gig cards that are maybe a little bit more cost effective than buying that big ass motherfucker.
Yeah, if done right, I suppose it could change the way we see PC games and the way people see PC as a, you know, as a gaming medium. Like, if, as you said, with the likes of Skyrim and mods and stuff and the frame buffer, if people are going out and trying out this hardware configurations, if developers get like on that shit, then people will see people making YouTube videos and saying, why the fuck can't I get this on my PS4? Why can't I get this on my Xbox One? You know, we might get a lot more fly-ins from the console network and maybe bring the PC more to the forefront.
Hopefully. I mean, the PC's out leading the consoles anyway, but it's just a matter of the public eye actually recognizing that, because everyone thinks the PC is dead when it's in fact killing consoles and sales on hardware and software. But
it's all numerics. It's all numbers.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think it just has a bigger public presence because of advertising, and I think that because of how gullible console players can be, that the publishers and developers wind up marketing way more towards them, just basically pull the dollars right out of their pockets. Whereas the PC crowd, I find, this is just opinion, but it's from what I've seen, is a lot more well-informed when it comes to games and a lot more selective. We're not going to pay money for a shit game. At least I think the majority of PC gamers that I know are not going to plop down $60 day one for a shit game.
Yeah, not just even a more mature audience. I also find that with the PC, you're also getting an older audience as well.
Yeah,
that probably has something to do with it. You know, people that are older, you know, they hold on to their money rather than, you know, go out and buy a game day one for fucking $60 when maybe
and pre-order to
buy a game.
Pre-order to get the GameStop pre-order bonus, get that extra skin.
Yeah, and you could maybe go on and get the same game on PC day one on the likes of Green Man Gaming or GOG or G2A.com for like fucking half the price.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone I know just waits for Steam sale or Humble Bundle or something like that. Just like, yeah, Hitman Absolution, that'll be like $1 next week, so I'll just wait for that.
Yeah.
It's like, who buys games day one anymore? I mean, besides Witcher 3 this year, I'll get that day one. That's about it. Maybe Hardline. Pretty much that's
Star
it, though.
Wars Battlefront.
Oh yeah, Battlefront as well. But not pre-ordering. Still not pre-ordering any games. Fuck that. We do not support. We do not support pre-ordering or piracy on this channel.
Yeah.
Moving on to the last topic. This is something I'm going to have to basically just talk about because Charlie and Hendy, both being Irish, aren't really that up to date on net neutrality. But if you've been following it all, there's been a lot of controversy over the last year after there was a law passed last year. Basically, a lot of the ISPs have been like double dipping in regards getting the money from companies like Netflix and YouTube and Hulu. And even though people are already paying for a set amount of bandwidth, like I pay a certain amount I get 90 megabit up and down. So, but in the evenings, if I try to use my internet, it just goes to shit on streaming websites like Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, and I actually have to use a VPN. I think I actually have it running right now. Yeah, there it is. I'm casting live from Seattle, even though I'm on the East Coast, because if I were to try to watch YouTube right now, it just wouldn't even buffer. And the same is with Netflix. And I could pretty much set my watch to that 5, 6 o'clock every night. It just gets throttled. And, you know, and I've tried calling Verizon about this. They'll say, oh, that's probably just network load because everyone's getting home from work and they're all on the internet. It's like, okay, I could understand that if that was the case, but clearly it's not, because as soon as I switch on my VPN, my videos buffer. And if my network was being strained because of other people using it, then I would not be able to load those pages despite using a VPN. But clearly they're monitoring the traffic to see what you're accessing, and then they're throttling it based on that. But if you're using a VPN, all they see is packets going through because it's encrypted packets. So I can then access these websites without any type of impedance from the ISP trying to block me. So this has been the big source of controversy over the last year because this has all been happening. They've been charging companies like Netflix extra money to get the internet fast lane, so to speak, so that they can get their content out to their users in a more efficient manner. But now they've just passed the law stating that internet will now be classified under Title II, and they haven't announced the specific terms of it yet, so we're still waiting to hear on that. But if it works the way that it's intended, basically the ISPs won't be able to just use Title II when they want to now. They'll be forced to use it all the time because they've kind of been using Title II a little bit to their benefits as far as getting, government kickbacks and stuff like that for Title II benefits. But when it comes to this whole topic of throttling internet for certain streaming websites, then Title II doesn't apply to us. And they're even trying to take Verizon tried to take the piss out of them this week or recently. They put out a post in Morse code to just try to joke around with how ancient this law is because it was the Title II Communications Act of 1934. But the joke's on them because now it's gotten passed and they're going to be classified as Title II, and it's just a matter of time before this all actually kicks in and takes effect, and hopefully sooner than later, because I'm sick of having to use a VPN in the evenings just to watch standard YouTube. It's not like I'm trying to access videos in other countries. I'm just trying to watch American YouTube or American Netflix, and I have to use a VPN to do that, which is completely ridiculous. And you guys don't have anything like this happening over there. I mean, I've seen a little bit about it, but you haven't really been affected by it. Not like I have anyway, have you?
Not really. It looks like you're literally getting rammed up the ass by your ISP, to be fair.
That is the case.
Yeah.
Bent over and they didn't even have the courtesy to spit on the tip.
Yeah. But we haven't really had anything come to the forefront of our media, but I'm sure it goes on over here as well, because I've seen the same thing myself where come peak times when everybody's coming home from work and stuff, your internet may slow down a bit, but Handy, you even said yourself you haven't noticed it on your connection.
I've never noticed any slowdown in my
apart from the standard day-to-day slowness.
Of course.
Just kidding. But yeah. Yeah, let's move on from this because these guys don't really know too much about it. It's basically an American thing, but I wanted to touch on it and cover it for you guys, and hopefully my explanation of what's been going on maybe explains that or clarifies that for some of you guys that have been hearing about this but don't really know what it's all about. And if you want to read more about it, you can go check out the article on Extreme Tech, which explains it pretty well. But before we go ahead and wrap up, I wanted to just shoot out a couple of questions over to Handy and Charlie, as they haven't had their chance on my channel to talk about what their most anticipated games are, as they've never been on the channel before. But you saw the video that I did with Yuki about a month ago that was really good. I hope you guys go check it out. I'll link to that down in the description. But I wanted to ask Charlie for the banter and I first. Charlie, what would you say are your most anticipated games real quick? Let's say your top 3 games for 2015 you're really looking forward to the most.
Right, well, that's going to be kind of hard. There's not really that many that I am looking forward to. Obviously, I don't really want to put GTA 5 in there because I've played it before. But obviously, I am looking forward to it on PC, so that's a given. I would say top 3, Star Wars Battlefront would be one of them, definitely. We're told that's going to be coming out October, so that'll definitely be good game to play. I would say second of all, I'm looking forward to the further episodes of the Life is Strange game, which I recently started playing. I'm really enjoying it. It's an adventure game, third person. And I would say thirdly, the
new Call of Duty.
Nah, fuck that. No, I would actually say I'm looking forward to it, even though I haven't actually got the console to play it yet. I'm really looking forward to Final Fantasy 15.
Well, maybe it'll be on PC.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Maybe.
Why? All the other ones are.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. In recent months, they've ported them to the PC. However, PC Gamer's done a couple of good articles, basically calling out Square Enix as to why they're terrible ports. on the PC. I haven't played them myself. I'd actually be very interested in playing them and probably will get around to playing them at some point. But yeah, I would say that would be my top 3 anyway.
All right, sweet. And yeah, well, I'm looking forward to Battlefront. I'm not too keen on the others, but definitely Battlefront. What about yourself, Hendy?
I'm personally looking forward for Hotline Miami 2. I really enjoyed the first game. Just amazing soundtrack, amazing gameplay. Just was perfect. And
Difficult as fuck.
Definitely it was hard the first time through, but after that, once you realize there's auto aim, it sort of becomes a bit of a piece of cake. Definitely. But yeah, the second game I'm really excited for. I'm not too sure when it's coming out. I do know it's coming out hopefully very soon. So that's pretty much what I'm excited for this year.
And what game is that?
Hotline Miami 2, you fool.
Oh, I thought you said there was a second game.
Oh, well.
You said there was a second game and then you didn't say the name of it.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm also excited for The Witcher 3.
Oh, yeah.
Like, The Witcher 2 was fun. The original Witcher was brutal.
The combat, you mean?
Yeah. Oh my god, just the swamp. The entirety of the swamp.
And hold your sword. Don't swing yet. Now swing now. No, not now. No, now. Now you swing now. Now. No, now. You see, it's a timing-based combat game.
I just don't want to relive the swamp ever again.
But Hendy, the swamp is love. The swamp is life. Long live the swamp.
I just want it to be ogre.
Who would win in a fight? The swamp or the Citadel's elevators in Mass Effect 1?
I've got to give it to the Citadel elevators. Quality time spent going up and down just to listen to the conversations with my b-boy Rax.
Oh yeah, those amazing conversations. So Shepard, I see that is your favorite shop on the Citadel. Well, yes it is. Yes, it is my favorite shop on the Citadel. Good times with Mass Effect and Commander Shepard.
Rax, quote of the century, Shepard.
Just Shepard? Was that the quote, Shepard?
That is the quote, Shepard.
Only you, Hendy, only you. But that's gonna wrap it up. We don't really have anything else, so that's gonna wrap up the video for you guys. Or I guess it's not really a video, is it? Because they only heard our voices. I guess. Well, you'll be seeing some video. You'll be seeing some form of video, just not video of us. But for the next Slunt Tech, I will have video back with Kurt and myself. Just wasn't able to get him back for this week, but hope you guys enjoyed Charlie and Hendy for visiting. Charlie's actually got a YouTube channel for the Banter NI, as you've heard me talk about before back in the Star Wars video. And I'll be sure to link to him, so you should definitely check out Charlie and subscribe to his channel. But thank you guys for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and like and hit all those buttons down there, and Facebook, Twitter, all that good shit. I'll catch you guys next time. Ta-ra! That's where you guys say goodbye as well.
Chucky Arla.
Goodbye.
Chucky Arla! Chucky!
See you later.
Charlie, are you the Chucky in Chucky Arla?
Maybe.
Or is that the doll from the movies? No, it's Charlie. Charlie is the Chucky in Chucky Arla.
I definitely.
Ireland will rise again. Ta-ra!
Our day will come.
Our day will come.